It's the Community Coffee Convo brought to you by the law offices of Peter F. Ferracuti. At the law offices of Peter F. Ferracuti, you're more than just a client. Call Alexis today and her experienced team at 888-488-4LAW and take action now. Community Coffee Convo, where we highlight amazing people in our community going above and beyond. For the month of September, we've got Oglesby Chief of Police, Doug Hayes.
I'm Doug Hayes, and I'm the Chief of Police in Oglesby. I started my career in 1982, and I was in Morris. Ended up being the police chief in Morris for a little over 16 years and did like 28 years there. And then I left there and I went to Minooka, and I was the police chief in Minooka for 3.5 years. And from there I went to Park Ridge for about 3.5 years. And then when I got here for 6 months, I showed interest and was asked to apply and interview, and was again selected to be the permanent police chief. Now it's been about 2.5 years. So it's new here, the community's new, the job itself, still getting to know everybody is new. And
yeah, it takes time.
Yeah.
And when it comes to being the police chief in Oglesby and everything like that, do you do stuff with the community, or there's things that you do with IVCC or anything like that?
So just newly, we had when I arrived here, they already had a deal where officers worked overtime like a security job out at the college. We've gone to the point now where we've done away with that, and we have a full-time police officer out there. Randy Leninger is her name, and she's out there on a full-time basis. Do that, and then anything that we hope that she gets involved with, anything the school's doing, and we'll ask for our help. So we've done some actual training for like active shooters out there. Put on quite a program with that for their staff, the administration as well as the professors. So she's out there and willing to do any programs. I've asked her to check into doing job fairs out there and doing ride-alongs with the students that are in the criminal justice program. And so we're getting them acclimated out there a little bit differently than we were before.
And I know I heard a little rumor about how with Oglesby they're planning on maybe bringing Matheson State Park closer to the city limits. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's great. I think it would be a great addition to the city. Maybe it could build up the city and get more tourist attraction and make the city grow maybe, and with that the police grow.
Exactly. Perfect. Now, and so you've been in the business for quite a while, for a hot minute, and with being with Oglesby for 2 years and the laundry list of places that you've been, you've got quite a resume. What is something that you would give advice to somebody kind of starting a fresh foot into the door of becoming a police officer in criminal justice, of how to get started and where to start looking?
I sought out a degree, and I didn't finish it until I was maybe 6 years into being a police chief. I finally finished it. I started at Olivet Nazarene College in Kankakee, and then I didn't finish there. I started having kids, and where I eventually finished was at Judson College in Elgin. I finished there, and I got a degree in management and leadership, and then criminal justice. It's kind of all one. And got my degree there. But if I were younger, I would tell people to get started earlier, walk in with that, and then maybe once you're in, start working on your master's, because most police departments and most cities pay for those degrees.
Oh, okay.
If you go, you just spend the time and they'll pay for it, usually. Yeah, so I would say make sure you do that. I'd say the biggest advice that I see, the difference between what people were 20 to 30 years ago starting the career as today, is that put yourself into it. It seems like it's become somewhat like it's a job,
right?
And it's, if you want to excel in it, you got to give.
The job needs to be a career.
You do. Not that I've had a perfect career, but I immediately sought out to be the crime prevention officer and did neighborhood watch programs, developed those, and I was the very first DARE officer in our community. I did DARE and taught 9 classes a day for several years, and just created a lot of special programs. I started the police departments I worked for were not active in Special Olympics, so I got them involved in Special Olympics and got the community involved in Special Olympics, and just give yourself, and then I saw a need as a police chief where the police and the community need to know each other better. So I started doing Coffee with a Cop. and open it up to the community. Anybody that wants to come out buy your coffee, you can ask me any questions for 1 hour that you want to.
Perfect.
And I started a chaplains program, and I started the Citizens Police Academy. And from there, I started a Citizens Police Academy alumni. And those people come back and help us train, and they do all sorts of things. We had a secretarial team, an automotive team. We had traffic direction team, and got them involved. And once they knew what we did, they wanted more.
Yeah.
And hey, we can help each other, you know.
For sure.
And so they were great volunteers. Here in Oglesby, I made a little list of some of the programs that we've done. We've contributed financially to Kids Fun Days at the Fest. We've had Shop with a Cop, which is huge here. We give away a lot of toys, turkeys, hams, to a lot of families, a lot. And there's a lot of good business people that help us out. A lot of people donate to it. And it's a great cause. We take the kids shopping. We've had breakfast with the kids. Just recently, we did the first responder night here.
Okay.
We have a great turnout. The ambulance people come to help us. The fire department brings vehicles. We've had conservation there with boats and such, and we've had helicopters land there. But we also have a bouncy house for the kids. We open up the swimming pool for the kids. Last year we cooked hot dogs. The assistant chief and I and our wives cooked hot dogs for everybody. This year we brought in 2 food trucks, gave away free tickets to get a snow cone, and we had a dunk tank where you could dunk one of the policemen in there. We had a big spray foam thing going on.
Oh, fun.
And the kids could run through the foam and then go get in the pool. And
So it sounds like you do a lot of stuff with your community. You're very community-oriented, which is fantastic to learn about you. Now, Chief Hayes, I have to ask the question that everybody loves to know the answer to. As a police officer, what is one of your favorite excuses of getting out of a speeding ticket?
Yeah, there's plenty, and I gotta say that I've actually used some of them.
Like, that was pretty good. I'm going to have to use that.
Yeah, it's like the funniest one always is that they truly have to go to the bathroom, and you truly got to let them go quick. So I think that's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But
And to get to know you more on a personal level a little bit as we wrap up this interview, earlier you mentioned that you do have kids and everything like that. How many kids do you have? Do you have grandbabies?
I have 11 grandkids.
What?
I have 11.
Do you remember all the names?
I know every one of them from top to bottom. Yep. And then I have 4 kids. One point I'd like to go back to and say what I've done in this community myself, because a lot of these programs that I haven't even got to that this community does, Christmas, Halloween, everything that we do, programs for. One of the things that I've brought into this department is I believe a police chief should come in and have expectations of what his policemen should be doing. If you don't lay out expectations, police go willy-nilly and do whatever they want to do, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not. Without direction, you can't have expectations. So one of the things I had created and actually wrote a short book about is I have a system where they get points for everything they do. And so people think, you get points for tickets or something. Well, it's against the law in the state of Illinois to do that.
Right.
You can't encourage tickets you can't tell your policemen to write tickets, period, anymore. So mine doesn't encourage a whole lot of traffic at all, other than cops like traffic, so I throw it in there for a variety. So there's a point system for everything that they do, and the highest points normally for the cops is getting out of their car and going into a business, and it requires that they speak to either a customer or an employee. Go in, speak to them. If you're speaking to the employee, basically all you have to say is, how you doing? Anything going on tonight? Nope, everything, okay, go on your way.
Okay.
Or you got a problem, they come back and report it to the other cops. Hey, they're having a problem out there. They're parking in the handicap or whatever the problem may be. So it encourages them to stop at the businesses and talk to the business people. It also, I give them great encouragement for finding business doors open at night. Why? Because a burglar finds an open door, he's right in there.
Well, if you're finding it, they can find it.
We're shaking all the doors, and they're getting points for this. So the points create Officer of the Month. The highest points gets Officer of the Month. The Officer of the Year, 50% of the selecting of the Officer of the Year is from points. The other 50% is on actions that they've taken that an awards committee decides. We take the points and that together, and that creates Officer. Each month, we have a department meeting, and at that department meeting, the top officer on days and the top officer on nights get, the officer of the month gets 4 beanbag throws, like cornhole, you know?
Yeah.
He gets 4 throws, and the top on days or nights gets 2 throws, and anybody that drops those gets comp time.
Oh.
So it's a little encouragement for them to do better out there, and it also allows us to monitor what they're doing. Are they checking the parks? Are they speaking to the kids in the parks?
Right.
Are they stopping and talking to people on the street, the guy
Well,
that's
it helps
mowing
them
his
be
lawn?
more local in the community.
We want them talking to the people
Brings
in the
it back
community.
around, yeah.
So I would say that's my highest priority for our policemen.
And I think police officers getting more involved in the community, you know, with media as it is, you know, there's so much negativity around police officers that getting more involved in your community and being more recognizable and going out to the fundraisers kind of reminds everyone that not all cops are bad and that they do care and they are here to help.
And they get to see them in a different light in those
Yeah.
events, you know. When the cops, you know, at Christmas time we're handing out a hot chocolate, you know.
It makes a difference.
It makes a difference.
Yeah, for
He's
sure.
not handing out a ticket.
Right.
So.
Yeah, for sure. What do you love about Oglesby? What do you love about this community?
Well, it's, you know, it's much like the community I grew up in that it seems like a lot of everybody knows everybody.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a
Small town
tight
living.
community, and everybody knows who's the troublemakers, everybody knows who's the good guys, everybody knows who to go to about this problem or that problem. So it's a very binded community, and I love that about it. There's some very serious people on the city council that are very serious about this community and want to make this community better.
Passionate, yeah.
They're passionate. They are passionate. And I'm the type of person, I'm passionate about my job. I've been passionate
tell.
about my job ever since I started. And it's been a career for me, over 30 years. It's been a career for me that very few days did I come to work and not like it and not excited about my job. And I love seeing people that are like that. So to even have a city council supporting you in a police department like this that's excited
absolutely.
about even their police department,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
I would leave you with saying this community is binded and people are passionate about it.